Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial would be discussed in this session. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 2nd of July. The first topic is DCGI nod for the Zydus COVID D. Right? This is being manufactured by the Zydus company. Second, RBI warned again rising bad loan. So the NPA issues has been raised by the Reserve Bank of India in its report. Third, central issues essential defense services ordinance. We'll understand the detail about this as well. Second last, WHO approved jab must be recognized for travel. So this is an official confirmation coming from the UN. And the last is envisioning the post-pandemic smart city. So this is an editorial from the Hindu. Apart from all the discussion, at the end of this video, you will have some MCQs question. These questions are based on current affairs that will help you in the upcoming prelims examination. And those of you who are new to channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up as part of good gesture. Now coming to the first news, that is DCGI nods out for ZyCoV D. So this is important for your general studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. Also, this type of factual news can be important for the prelims examination or you're preparing for any other competitive examinations, right? So what is there in the news? The Indian drug maker, that is Zydus Cadila. This is a Ahmedabad based company, right? उन्होंने recently approval मिली है उनको DCGI की तरफ से ड्रग कंट्रोलर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया so that they can use their vaccine drug known as ZyCoV D for the emergency use authorization, right? So this can be further used as another vaccine in the list of Indian COVID vaccine, and this would be the 5th vaccine, right? I'll tell you which are the other vaccines. कुछ और दूसरे vaccines की बात करें इसके अलावा, this is the 5th vaccine. The other authorized in India, that is Moderna. AstraZeneca, that is partnership with Serum Institute of India, they are manufacturing Covishield. उसके बाद भारत बायोटेक की कोवैक्सीन है. स्पुतनिक V, that is being developed by the Russia Galmia Institute, right? So in total, we have 5 emergency use authorization vaccine that is operating in India. Now, if this is approved by the DCGI, still some of the work is being still pending. So this was the world first plasmid DNA vaccine for the COVID-19 vaccine. इससे पहले जितनी भी vaccines है, they are mRNA, right? So mRNA vaccine has been developed with all other vaccine manufacturers. And if you're preparing for prelims examination, make sure you know the difference between mRNA and DNA, and also how does mRNA vaccine work. It planned to manufacture almost 120 million doses shots annually. This is what the Zydus Cadila has officially confirmed. And as I've told you, this approval would mark the 5th vaccine that would be coming to India. Now, talking about ZyCoV D, how it will function, what exactly are the ingredients, what are the core components of it. So this is a plasmid DNA. This is not an mRNA. This is a DNA based, right, vaccine. That basically uses a genetically engineering non-replicating version of DNA molecule. So this point is very important, very factually correct and important for your prelims examination. Now plasmids की बात करें, the cases are coded with instruments to make spike protein for the SARS-CoV-2. Spike protein यहाँ भी बनेगी, but उसकी जो methodology है उसको change कर दी गई है. Now the immune system is expected to recognize this as a threat and develop the antibodies in response, right? So what is happening in mRNA when a vaccine is being administered to you? This is the inactive virus that activate your antibodies development, right? So same function would be also here. Now ZyCoV D by contrast will give in 3 doses. इससे पहले जितनी भी vaccines हैं, almost सारे vaccines की doses double doses vaccine है. So this is a 3 doses vaccine. And only one vaccine that is declared across in the world, that is a Sputnik Light, right? Sputnik Light जो है, this is a vaccine, this is considered to be the one shot vaccine, but this is still not available in India. अभी रशिया में इस पे ट्रायल चल रही है, इंडिया में अभी इसकी पता नहीं है कब आएगी. But जितने भी vaccines available हैं, these are double dose vaccines, right? And this is the only vaccine that has 3 doses. And जो interval रखी गई है हर के बीच में, that is 28 days, right? In COVID sheet we have seen that 84 days के interval है, तो कहीं ना कहीं आप timeline के हिसाब से देखोगे, so this has the same time span compared to the COVID sheet, right? And this will be the between the first and second and the third shot, so equal dates की interval है हर doses में 28 days की. Now this would be a needle free, basically how this would be administered. So एक needle free applicator use किए जाएंगे. This vaccine would come with the PharmaJet, right? एक needle free applicator होती है जो कि painless होगी, intradermal vaccine delivery की जाएगी. This is why it is being considered that it will cost extra, right? And company has still not revealed the price of the vaccine or the applicator, right? So in due course of time, we have to see what is the vaccine, basically methodology to administer an individual and what would be the price. Now vaccines trials की अगर बात करें, the company has conducted trial over 50 centers in India. Phase 3 के जो clinical trial के results हैं, they have been conducting over 28,000 volunteers. And this is for the first time that any COVID vaccine has been tested in adolescence population. Adolescence population, I mean the age group of 12 to 18 years. ये पहली ऐसी डोज है, इससे पहले और भी खास करके चल रही है ट्रायल्स अभी, राइट? सिप्ला ने भी किया है, बट दिस इज द वैक्सीन वेयर ऑलरेडी ट्रायल हैज कंप्लीटेड इन द एडोलेसेंस. नाउ टॉलरेबिलिटी की बात करें, टॉलरेबिलिटी प्रोफाइल वेज सिमिलर टू दैट सीन इन द अडल्ट पॉपुलेशन, राइट? सो दीज adolescents population were also tolerate to the vaccine which actually the adult were tolerate, right? So this is all the result about the vaccine trials. Now the second news from Indian Express, RBI warns against the rising bad loan. We know that the issue of NPA is something which is a concern for Reserve Bank of India. This is important for your General Studies paper 3, Indian economy and issue related to planning, mobilization, growth and development. So RBI ने अपने recent financial stability report में जो latest report है उसमें warn किया है कि जो bad loan है that is rising, right? They have given some calculation, some percentage. अगर बैंक ग्रुप्स की बात करें, so the NPA for the public sector bank is expected to rise by 9.54%, right? This is for March 2021, and it can edged up to 12.52% in March 2022. So this is what the prediction is from the RBI. So baseline scenario से काफी ज़्यादा ऊपर है. However, कुछ improvement देखी गई है from the earlier expectation, indicative of pandemic fulfilling regulatory supports. We have seen that the issues of NPA, why they have risen, because people do not have sufficient amount to repay the amount, right? उनके पास जो repayment capacity, जो repayment power है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा कम हुई है due to COVID-19. The people have lost their job, they are not earning adequately, even some of the people are working in the less salary, right? So these all circumstances has further contributed in the rising NPA. Now the central bank has also warned कि जो inceptive signs है among the stress, ये medium और small units में भी है, ना सिर्फ banks पे, right? जो micro, small and medium enterprises हैं, we'll discuss separately about MSME. These sectors are also stressed. So the governor of RBI, he said that the second wave of the pandemic has a grievous toll in India. We have seen the impact in the economy, the normal livelihood, the health infrastructure, everything has deteriorated because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now about financial stability report, अगर FSR की बात करें, many of you must be aware about the FSR which is being released by RBI. Those of you who do not know, this reflects the collective assessment of subcommittee जो Financial Stability Development Council है, FSDC जिसको कहते हैं, जिसके गवर्नर RBI होते हैं. UPSC ने इस पे क्वेश्चंस भी पूछे हुए हैं prelims में. Make sure you know this basic things, but although I just intend to tell you the basic thing also, so that no confusion arises in any topic, right? So FSDC की, this is being headed by the governor of RBI. एक मीटिंग होती है FSDC की, उसको वो साथ में मिल करके जब रिपोर्ट बनाते हैं, that together come up with the financial stability report, right? And in this particular report, they highlight the financial stability, the resilience of the financial system of the country, right? And the report also discussed related to the development and regulation of financial sector. क्या roadmap होनी चाहिए? RBI अपने जो मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी उसमें क्या क्या चेंजेस लाएगी, क्या रिकमेंडेशंस देती है वो गवर्नमेंट को एवरीथिंग इज बट डिस्कस्ड इन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट. इसके अलावे एनुअल रिपोर्ट भी आरबीआई रिलीज करती है पर ईयर. Now, more about the report, what detail have been shared with the government. The financial stability report of the RBI said कि जो macro stress है, that is indicative on the gross non-performing assets. This is also known as GNPA, and this ratio has increased in the bank from 7.48% to 9.80% by March 2022. और baseline scenario की बात करें, it can further increase to 11.22%, right? And there have been stress in the micro, small and medium enterprises as well as in the retail segment. So these sector has also not been left out. These sector has also been seeing a grave situation where the performance is deteriorating, the stress is at high both at the MSME as well as the retail segments. Now, according to RBI, only 0.9% of the total loan were reconstructed. As I've told you, because of the repayment capacity of an individual, this all has happened. And जो micro, small and medium enterprises हैं, they have saw the maximum debt recast because MSME भी बहुत ज़्यादा लोन पे काम करती है, लोन पे ऑपरेट करती है. They lend basically from the bank and they function accordingly. And they were unable to repay the amount, because of which the recast of 1.7% were followed by the corporate loan. 0.9% sector have seen in the restructuring. और retail की बात करें, this segment has saw only 0.7% of loan restructuring, right? So this is all about the RBI report. You don't have to remember the percentage, but you have to remember the trend कि किस जगह पे गिरावट है MSME में, retail sectors में, how they actually function. These basic things you have to know. Now the other news, central issues, essential defense services ordinance. एक प्रोटेस्ट को लेकर के किस तरह से इसको डिफेंड करनी है, तो मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि क्या क्या इसके पीछे की बातें हैं. सो दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर जनरल स्टडीज पेपर 2, गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज एंड इंटरवेंशन for the development of various sectors and why government has issued this ordinance. So the President of India has recently promulgated the Essential Defense Services Ordinance, which empower the government. Government को ये empower करती है कि किसी भी तरह से strike जो है वो essential defense services के लोग या उस जगह पे नहीं की जा सकती है, right? And why this decision was taken by government? Because recently आपको याद होगा, मैंने आपके साथ डिस्कस किया था, गवर्नमेंट ने 200 साल पुरानी जो ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड है उसको चेंज करके 7 ओन्ड कॉरपोरेशन बनाने की बात की थी, ताकि उसमें अकाउंटेबिलिटी बढ़े, इफेक्टिवनेस बढ़े और कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस बढ़े. दिस वाज द रीजन बिकॉज ऑफ विच गवर्नमेंट हैज replaced the ordnance factory board with the state owned corporations, because of which it was an intended कि ये लोग प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे, इस वजह से गवर्नमेंट ने ये लॉ लेके आया, right? So basically you can say this is more of curbing the freedom of speech and expression. Now the defense minister has assured that there would be no changes in the service condition, but गवर्नमेंट ने ऑलरेडी ये क्लियर किया था कि जितने लोग एम्प्लॉयड थे ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड में उनके लिए कोई सर्विस कंडीशन चेंज नहीं होगी, दे वुड बी सेम वर्किंग. और ये जो पूरी कोशिश की गई है स्टेट ओन कॉर्पोरेशंस बनाने के लिए इज टू बूस्ट इंडियाज डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर्स. बट डेफिनेटली व्हेन अ डिसीजन इज टेकन उसके बहुत सारे पहलू होते हैं, बहुत सारे पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, एंड वी हैव टू एड्रेस एवरीथिंग. Now it comes in the backdrop of मेजर्स फेडरेशंस. जहाँ तक एफिलिएशन की बात करें, 76,000 एम्प्लॉयज ऐसे हैं जो ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री बोर्ड में थे. दे मेक अनाउंसमेंट दैट दे विल गो टू indefinite strike because of the decision that government has taken in July to replace the ordinance board, right? So this is the reason the people has said that this is more into corporatizing the OFB, that is ordinance फैक्ट्री बोर्ड. तो इसको कॉर्पोरेटाइज ना किया जाए और कॉर्पोरेट लोगों को अंदर ना लाया जाए, इस लेकर के इन्होंने प्रोटेस्ट करने की बात कही है. नाउ व्हाट इज एसेंशियल डिफेंस सर्विसेज ऑर्डिनेंस? क्या क्या चीज़ों के रिस्ट्रिक्शंस हैं इस ऑर्डिनेंस के थ्रू? एनी पर्सन हु कम across the strike is considered as an illegal under the ordinance and goes remain on the otherwise taken the part of the strike. So it would be a punishable offense जहाँ पे imprisonment की जा सकती है up to 1 year, or fine may be extended to 10,000 or both can be given, right? And anyone investigating or inciting a taking part in the strike उसको illegal declare किया जाएगा ordinance rules के खिलाफ. The ordinance shall punish the imprisonment terms may be expanded up to 2 years or have to pay the fine, right? So what government is trying, they don't want to people to protest against their decision. Now, this is simply curbing of right, curbing of freedom of speech and expression. We understand that this is a COVID time, but a peaceful protest should always be there. I personally feel that this matter will definitely land up to the Supreme Court and they would accordingly decide. Now, employees who come under the purview of ordinance would involve the productions of defense equipments, services and operation, maintenance की बात की जाए, industrial establishment. These are connected with the military, as well as those who employed in repair and maintenance of the defense products, right? So this is how the purview would be taken care of. This is ordinance. Let's see how government passes this, because अभी monsoon session के लिए भी बात हो गई है. The date has been confirmed, and if the monsoon session start, possibly government will try to pass this ordinance. Now, WHO approved jab must be recognized for travel. This is what the UN has to say. And this is important because there were many restrictions that people has to face because of the non-certification and non-approval of the vaccines, right? Important for the general studies paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreements. So what UN has said, they have said जितने भी ड्रग्स को, जितने भी वैक्सीन को WHO ने अप्रूव किया है, ऑथोराइज किया है फॉर इमरजेंसी यूज ऑथराइजेशंस, दीज कंट्री आर ओपन टू देयर बॉर्डर्स एंड इनकैलकुलेटेड ट्रैवल्स. ऐसे लोग जिन्होंने वैक्सीन ले लिए हैं उनको अलाउ करने की जरूरत है. इसमें वैक्सीन में भेदभाव न हो. देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी डिफरेंस दैट यू हैव टेकन कोवैक्सीन, यू हैव टेकन कोविशील्ड, यू हैव टेकन मॉडर्ना, यू हैव टेकन फाइजर, you have taken X number of vaccine, right? So this should not be categorizations. There should be a uniformity. Drugs which has already been approved by the WHO should be allowed in almost every country for travel. Now, advantage of the decision, basically ये जो move है, मैं आपको इससे पहले डिस्कशन में मैंने वैक्सीन पासपोर्ट के बारे में भी बताया था. If you know, you can connect this vaccine passport here. So move जो होगी ये वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज की जो आइडिया है उसको ब्रॉडन करेगी, जहाँ पे कुछ चाइनीज वैक्सीन को अलाउ नहीं की जा रही है इन यूरोपियन एंड अमेरिकन कंट्रीज, राइट? बेसिकली मोस्ट यूरोपियन कंट्री एंड नॉर्थ अमेरिकन कंट्रीज आर नॉट अलाउइंग पीपल विथ चाइनीज वैक्सीन, राइट? सो कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट वैक्सीन हैं लाइक फाइजर है, बायोटेक, मॉडर्ना, एस्ट्राजेनिका, जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन, ये सारे वैक्सीन को अप्रूवल मिली है. साथ के साथ जो चाइनीज की 2 जैब्स हैं दैट इंक्लूड साइनोवैक and Sinopharm. These 2 are the vaccine that was also given emergency use authorization by the WHO. Sinopharm की अगर बात करें और Sinovac, they have been accepted by some countries. बहुत सारे ऐसे countries हैं जिन्होंने चाइना से ये वैक्सीन मंगाई. इवन पाकिस्तान और बहुत सारे अदर कंट्रीज है जो अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, उन्होंने चाइना से ही वैक्सीन परचेज की. Now the EU drug regulator is currently considering the licensing China Sinovac and there is no timeline on the decision. यूरोपियन यूनियन ने कहा है कि वो कंसिडर करेंगे, बट दे हैव नॉट प्रोवाइडेड एनी टाइमलाइन. बट इस बीच में जो इंडिविजुअल है जिसने इस वैक्सीन को ली है उसके साथ काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. इफ यू वांट टू ट्रैवल ही कैन नॉट ट्रैवल बिकॉज देयर आर सम रूल्स एंड ऑब्लिगेशंस. नाउ रिड्यूस रिस्क की अगर बात करें, अगर इस तरह के रिव्यूज़ की जाएंगे चाइनीज़ वैक्सीन की, तो यूनाइटेड हेल्थ एजेंसी ने कहा है that both were found significantly to reduce the hospitalization and death, right? So WHO and UN agency has confirmed that these vaccines are working effectively. So there's no issues about this vaccine. They can be further used for the emergency use authorization in many other countries as well. Now अगर बात करें वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज की, तो कि largely कुछ important vaccine पे डिपेंडेंट है from the US and Europe that include Pfizer, BioNTech, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Johnson and Johnson. So this should also be given permission to utilize the Chinese vaccine, the 2 vaccine that has already been approved by the WHO. Now, in reasoning the past pandemic smart city, this is an editorial reported in the Hindu, talks about general studies paper 2, important for your general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. So the entire editorial discusses about the smart city. I will tell you what are the issues that I'm going to discuss under this editorial. So there are 4 important subtopics. First is the general concept regarding the smart city. What is a concept of smart city? We'll understand that. The focus shift towards the health because of the pandemic, because of the COVID-19. The shift has tilted towards the health sector, infrastructure convergence, and the use of commons, right? और इस editorial की पूरी theme जो है focus है, that is a roadmap for the post-pandemic smart cities. Now, smart cities की बात करें, this was started 6 years ago. Actually, in 2015, the smart city was started. The mission was started by Government of India, जहाँ पे अर्बन डेवलपमेंट की तरफ आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश की गई थी, एक ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड और स्मार्ट सिटी बनाने की कोशिश की गई सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से. Now, the center would support the chosen project and other would also learn from it. The government said that we will set a set mark जहाँ पे 100 smart cities को develop की जाएगी, and with this 100 smart city that would consider जहाँ पे लोगों को और लर्निंग होगी इस स्मार्ट सिटी से, ताकि वो और दूसरे स्मार्ट सिटीज़ को भी डेवलप कर पाए. सो इनिशियली गवर्नमेंट ने सिर्फ 100 स्मार्ट सिटीज़ को अप्रूवल दी थी, सो दैट वी कैन लर्न and we can further enhance the level of smart cities, right? So foundation program means initially only 100 smart city was provided. Now एक जनरल कॉन्सेप्ट की अगर बात करें, ग्लोबली कोई यूनिफॉर्म डेफिनेशन नहीं है स्मार्ट सिटीज़ की. वी हैव सीन मेनी अदर country like South Korea, even in Japan, they're smart cities, but their concept is different. But अगर आप यूनिफॉर्मली बात करेंगे एक ओवरऑल कॉन्सेप्ट पे कि स्मार्ट सिटीज़ होती क्या है, so this is a techno-centric vision. This call for a techno-centric vision, जहाँ पे sensor, smart home, high level of connectivity हो, ambitious data collections हो. Now, these can be useful to the citizen. Right? We have seen the smart cities operating brilliantly in Singapore. Right? So Indian cities are well known for the infrastructure deficit. We have a basic amenity deficit in our country, that is like water supply की हमें problem है. Waste management is a problem. Sewage, if you see a rainfall is there, the entire water logged in the road. You'll see the Mumbai, every year this happened, right? So जो छोटी छोटी प्रॉब्लम है उसके तरफ सॉल्यूशन नहीं है, और स्मार्ट सिटी के कॉन्सेप्ट को कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे, राइट? सो द बेसिक एम्यूनिटीज नीड टू बी हैंडल फर्स्ट. ट्रांसपोर्ट अरेंजमेंट इज पुअर, high level of population basically in metropolitan like Delhi and other NCR areas. Climate change is there, frequent extreme floods and droughts, right? So I think the editor want to say that we definitely need to work upon this basic amenities, then we can gradually upgrade to the smart cities concepts. Now focus shifts towards the health. Definitely COVID-19 के बाद जो फोकस है वो शिफ्ट हुई है, जो अर्बन लाइफ थी उसके इससे आगे हट करके गवर्नमेंट ने कोशिश की है कि जो हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटीज़ हैं उसके तरफ ध्यान दी जाए. बट एक सरप्राइजिंग बात यहाँ पे है कि जो स्मार्ट सिटी अवार्ड है 2020 की जो डिक्लेयर की जाती है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हाउसिंग एंड अर्बन अफेयर्स, उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्थ पे फोकस नहीं दिया, सिर्फ कुछ कंपोनेंट्स रखे हैं इंटीग्रेटेड कमांड एंड कंट्रोल सेंटर्स को लेकर के, राइट? सो डेफिनेटली a shift in healthcare is required, because we have understand that if our healthcare system is not well, the healthcare infrastructure amenity is not well, we cannot save life of the people. Now two cities, Indore and Surat, they have jointly won the city award, जहाँ पे मध्य प्रदेश और तमिलनाडु ने भी स्टेट लेवल पे अवार्ड वॉन किए. And talking about Indore, this is the cleanest city in India which has won consecutively 4 times back-to-back award in the cleanest city. Now इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कन्वर्जेंस की अगर बात करें, स्मार्ट सिटी मिशंस में बहुत सारे ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट मिशन है जिसको गवर्नमेंट ने मर्ज किया, दैट इंक्लूड अमृत, द अटल मिशन फॉर रीजनरेशन एंड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, PMJY, राइट, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना हाउसिंग के लिए. इन सारी चीज़ों को इसमें मिक्स कर दी गई है ताकि जो डेवलपमेंट है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की वो हॉलिस्टिक हो सके. Now India's smart city cannot really aspire for a structural shift. सिर्फ स्ट्रक्चर शिफ्ट की हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है. वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रायोरिटी ऑफ द पीपल. द बेसिक एम्यूनिटी शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड एट द foremost priority. And in fact, extending the green logic would imply creating an urban garden. बेसिकली अगर बात करें ग्रीनरी की, ग्रीन लॉजिक जो है वहाँ पे अर्बन गार्डन को डेवलप करना, वाटर बॉडी शुड बी देयर, क्लाइमेट चेंज ऑडिट शुड बी देयर, एंड अ पीस ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर शुड बी एडिक्वेटली प्लान्ड. Now use of commons की अगर बात करें, what should be the commons that should be there in each and every cities. So elegant, healthy and smart after the pandemic, this is the time we need to work. एक roadmap for bicycles, amplify safe travel and complement extended public transport is essential. Public transport service is very important. It should be cost effective, at the same time it should be time efficient. This is consistent with the PAN सिटी गोल, जो स्मार्ट सिटी मिशंस हैं उसमें स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की भी अपनी रेजोल्यूशंस हैं, अपने स्टेक्स हैं. हर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ कुछ चीज़ों को अमेंड किया है, ऑल्दो दिस इज द सेंटर स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम, बट डेफिनेटली स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को भी इसमें अपनी स्टेक देने की जरूरत है, बट दैट कॉल फॉर अ रिजोल्यूट एक्शन इन ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट. कोविड-19 के टाइम में दिस मीन एक्सेस टू हेल्थ अलर्ट्स, वैक्सीनेशंस, हॉस्पिटल बेड्स, जो ट्रॉपिकल एडवाइस है दैट नीड टू बी राउंडेड ऑफ, or data on pollution, rainfall and congestion should also be provided, so that the state particularly should be aware of the fact that what is going to happen, and the center should adequately give some relief measure to them. Now, pandemic has come as a remarkable opportunity in this country to revive the paradigm shift of the smart city. So we can change the definition, we can shift more towards the health, right? This is something that is a need of the hour, and definitely the basic amenity services should be grade up, it should be enhanced, so that the basics amenities are not lacking with the citizen of this country, right? This is the use of common that we can understand. Now coming to the MCQs question of the day, before I proceed with the question, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For the first question, the correct option is C. For the second question here, the correct option is C. For both the question, the correct option is C. Now, question of the day, World Sustainable Development Summit 2021 was organized by the Greenpeace. The summit calls for redefining our common future, safe and secure environment for all. Was this the theme? If you know the correct answer, do let me know in the comment section down below. So, I mean, if you are participating, do participate in the answer. This is very good for you. You'll have a practice of a lot more questions. Now, consider the statement about Saksham, that is Sharmik Shakti Manch. It is a dynamic portal for mapping of the skills of the Sharmik of MSME and other industries across the country. Portal uses algorithm, artificial intelligence that provide analysis training program for the Shramiks. So you have to choose the answer options and write that in the comment section down below. Right? And we have launched our IAS Gazetted General subscription for an affordable price, including the courier charges. You can avail this benefit. I have provided a link in the description section from where you can directly register yourself. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs question. If you have any other concern, you can let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much for listening.